I welcome you to this Biology Paper 2 2023 prediction. Specifically, this is section A. So, the questions that are likely to come on section A, we have the first one, which is cell specialization. So, under cell specialization, they can combine cell specialization and the osmosis. So, as for cell specialization, we can say it is the process by which a cell undergoes specific changes in order to carry out its specific function. So the process by which a cell undergoes specific changes in order to carry out specific function or the specific function. Now under cell specialization, we have specialized cells in plants and also specialized cells in animals. So I'm going to start with the specialized cells in plants. So the first one, we have the root hair cell. So you need to know the structure of the root hair cell, the parts and the adaptation of the root hair cell. Apart from that one, you need also to know the palisade cell. So the palisade cell is one of the specialized cell in plants. So the function of the palisade cell, so the site for photosynthesis, the labels and also the adaptations of a palisade cell. Apart from that one, need also to know the structure of the phloem, the function, and also the adaptations. Also, you need to also to know the xylem, the structure of the xylem, the function, and also the adaptation. Apart from that one, you need also to know the spongy mesophyll cell, the spongy mesophyll cell, its structure and function, and also the adaptation, and also the function of the guard cell, the function of the guard cell, the adaptation, and also its function. Okay, so let's move on to the next one, which is the animal cell, the specialized cells in animals. So the first one, we have the red blood cell, the function of the red blood cell. You need to know the function of the red blood cell, the function of the red blood cell, the structure and also the adaptations, like biconcave in shape, the function to transport oxygen around the body, and also the white blood cells, which is to fight against infections. Now, under the white blood cell, they can bring a phagocyte. So, you need to know the structure of the phagocyte, the adaptation of the phagocyte, which is the white blood cell. Then apart from that one, you need also to know the structure of the nerve cell, the structure of the nerve cell. Specifically, you need to know the structure of the motor neuron, the relay neuron, and also the sensory neuron. The function of the nerve cells to conduct electrical impulses, to conduct the electrical impulses. Then apart from that one, need also to know the function of each of the neurons, like the motor neuron, the function of the motor neuron to transport or to conduct electrical impulse from the central nervous system to the effectors. Then the relay neuron act as the connector. Okay, so act as the connector or the junction between the motor neuron and the sensory neuron. Then as for the sensory neuron, they conduct electrical impulses from the sense organs. Okay, so apart from that one, lastly you can say all these you need to know the structure, their structures and also their adaptations. Their structures and also the adaptations and also the functions of these specialized cells. So let's move on to the next one, which is the question which is going to likely to come in your paper. So the next one is dentition. So dentition, you need to define what dentition is. You need to define what dentition is. Apart from that one, you need also to know how our teeth are arranged in humans, the arrangement of our teeth in humans. Apart from that one, you need also to know the total number of teeth or tooth in different animals like dogs, cats, and also human beings. So I'm saying you need to know the total number of tooth in different animals like dogs, cat, and human beings. Okay, so the next one, you need also to know the different types of tooth, like the premolar, the function of the premolar, and also the structure of the premolar, and also the labels of the premolar. Apart from that one, you need to know the structure of the molar, the structure of the molar, okay, the structure of the molar, and also the labels of the molar, the function of the molar. You need also to know the function of the molar. Apart from that one, you need also to know the function of the incisors, the function of the incisors, the structure, and also the labels of the incisors. Then lastly, you need to know the structure of the canine. You need to know the structure of the canine, the labels, and also the function of the canine. Followed by the next question, which is likely to come in your paper, is or the topic which is likely to come in your paper is growth in animals. Growth in animals. So the first thing you need to know how to define growth in this part here. You need to know how to define growth and how to differentiate between growth and development. So in this part here, you need to know the life cycle of the housefly. You need to know the life cycle of the housefly, and also the life cycle of the mosquito, like this one here that is shown on the screen. Apart from that one, you need to know the life cycle of the frog. Apart from that one, you need also to know the importance of the housefly. You need to know the importance of the housefly and also the importance of the mosquito. Then the next topic which is likely to come in your paper is the enzymes. Okay, so on this part here, they can combine enzymes and digestion. On this part here, they can combine enzymes and digestion. Okay, so the first thing you need to know how to define an enzyme and also the definition of a catalyst, and also examples of enzymes in humans or extracellular enzymes, the types of enzymes like extracellular enzymes and intracellular enzymes, and also the examples. Apart from that one, you need to know the characteristics of enzymes and apply them using diagrams. You need to know the characteristics of enzymes and apply them using diagrams like this one here. Okay, so in this part here, once they involve enzymes, they can also involve metabolism, because all the metabolism that takes place in our body is controlled by enzymes. So under metabolism, you need to you need to know how to define metabolism, and also the types of metabolism like anabolism and catabolism, or anabolic and catabolic. Then next one is genetics. The next topic is genetics. So you need to know the terms which are used under genetics. You need to know terms which are used under genetics. Like the first one is the gene. So the gene is just a unity of inheritance. A gene is just a unity of inheritance. Okay, so we have the inheritance, which is the next term. So inheritance is the transfer of characteristics from the parents to the offspring. Okay, so I'm saying inheritance is the transfer of characteristics from the parents to the offspring. Okay, so the offspring, in this case, they are children. Then apart from the inheritance, you need also to know how to define a phenotype. So the word phenotype, it is just an outward appearance of a living organism. An outward appearance of a living organism. Apart from phenotype, you need to know how to define genotype. So as for a genotype, I can say a genotype is an external or genetic composition of a living organism. The makeup, the genetically makeup of, or the internal makeup of the living organism genetically. Okay. Then apart from that, we need to know how to define an allele. So an allele is just it is just any form of gene, any form of gene, any form of genes or gene. So now under alleles, you can have a dominant allele. So a dominant allele is more powerful than a recessive allele. So under alleles we have a dominant allele followed by the recessive allele. So in this case, a dominant allele is going to express itself on the phenotype. Since I was saying phenotype is an outward appearance of a living organism. So a recessive is less powerful, but a dominant allele is more powerful. So in this case, we have capital letter B and small letter b. So capital letter B is a dominant allele and small letter b is a recessive allele. Okay, so an example of a recessive allele or recessive alleles, we have a B, which is small letters. So as for recessive alleles, they are represented by small letters. Then as for dominant alleles, are represented by capital letters. Then apart from that one, we also have homozygous allele. So in this case here, homo means same. So you are going to find that when you talk of homozygous allele, you can have homozygous dominant or homozygous recessive, whereby you are going to have same letters with equal expression. Let's say, for example, if you talk of homozygous dominant, which means, let's choose any letter like B, we are going to find that we are going to have B, which are capital letters. Then apart from that one, if you say homozygous recessive, we are going to use small letters which are same. Okay, so like small letter B and small letter B, like this one. Then the last one, which is heterozygous. You need to know the definition of the heterozygous. Okay, so heterozygous allele, these are alleles with different letters. Okay, so they have different letters. For example, we can have A and B. Okay, so we can have A and B. So in this case here, as for heterozygous, we can have different alleles like A and B, where A we can have a capital letter and then B we can have a small letter, or we can say both are capital letters but they are different letters like A and B. Okay, apart from that one, you need also to explain using a genetic diagram the codominance of blood groups using a genetic diagram or using genetic diagram. So what you need to understand here is that the allele for the blood group is capital letter I. So the allele for the blood group is capital letter I. Okay, so in this case here we can say there are three types of blood group. There are three types of blood group. We have blood group A, blood group B, and blood group O. So blood group AB is formed from blood group A and B. So we have just three types of blood groups. We have blood group A, blood group B, and blood group O. Okay, so blood group A is formed from blood group A and B. So now on this part here, since I was saying the allele for the blood group is capital letter I, so I'm going to say blood group AB, which is AB, will come first. So I'm going to say AB. So now as you can see, as for blood group AB, this one here, it is heterozygous dominant. Heterozygous dominant. Both are dominant to each other and they exist heterozygous. Like the way I was saying heterozygous, these are alleles with different letters, okay, but with equal, they can be with equal expression, or one allele should be dominant or another one should be recessive. So we have blood group A, blood group AB. So both in this case are dominant to each other. Then apart from that one, we also have blood group A. Now as for blood group A, on this part E, blood group A can exist as homozygous dominant, where you can have AA, which is blood group A, homozygous dominant. Apart from that one, blood group A can exist as heterozygous dominant, where A is dominant to blood group O. So as for blood group O is recessive, always it is recessive. Okay, similar to blood group B, blood group B exist as homozygous dominant and heterozygous dominant. Then the last one, which is blood group O. As for blood group O exists as homozygous recessive. Blood group O exists as homozygous recessive. As for blood group O, it can't exist as heterozygous, okay? It only exists as homozygous recessive. So an example is this one. They can say, explain the codominancy of blood group. Explain the codominance of the blood group. So in this case, you are going to use, so before I give you an example on this part here, like this one, codominance allele of these alleles, these are two different alleles with equal expression in the phenotype. So codominance allele, these are two different alleles with equal expression in the phenotype. So in this case here we have blood group A, which is the phenotype. Blood group A, which is the phenotype, close with blood group B, which is also the phenotype. So in this case here we are not going to use blood group A, heterozygous dominant. We are going to use blood group A, homozygous dominant, and also blood group B as homozygous dominant. So the allele for a blood group or the allele for the blood group, it is capital letter I. So I'm going to say capital letter I to the power capital letter M, capital letter I to the power capital letter M multiplied by, or close with capital letter I to the power capital letter B, capital letter I to the power capital letter B. Then here we are going to split the gametes. Then the results we are going to have, here we are going to have blood group A, which is the first filler genotype. We are going to have blood group A, B, followed by blood group A, B, followed by blood group A, B, followed by blood group A, B. So this one here, it is showing that these blood groups are codominancy to each other. This one is showing that blood group A, B are codominance to each other. Thereby, blood group A is showing itself in the phenotype, and also blood group B is showing itself in the phenotype. Okay, so apart from that one, you can also look at the tallness and the dwarfness of different living organisms like plants and so on, using different letters. And also, you can also go through under sex-linked characteristic. Yeah. So the next one is excretion. So excretion is also another topic which is likely to come in your paper. So under excretion, you need to know the examples of excretory organs and their excretory products. For example, we can have the kidney. So we can have the kidney, and the excretory product we can have urea, excess water. Apart from the kidney, we can also have the skin, and also the examples of excretory products which the skin produce, okay, or which the skin excrete. Yeah. Apart from the skin, you can also look at the lungs. The lungs and also its what excretory product like carbon dioxide and so on. Okay. Then also you need to know the structure of the skin and also the parts and their function, and also the structure of the nephron, specifically the internal structure of the nephron. Okay. So the last one, which is the sense organs. Another topic is the sense organs and the nervous system. Okay, so the sense organs and nervous system, this one is likely to come in your paper. So the first one, you are going to talk of the examples of sense organs in living organisms like humans. So the first one is the skin, the ears or the ear, and also the eye. Apart from that one, you can talk of different sense organs and also the stimulus that they respond to, like the skin can respond to temperature and also chemical. Then as for the ear, this one ear can respond to the sound, and also the eye, this one ear can respond to the light. Okay, so now apart from that one, you need to also to know the structures of the skin, the ear, and also the eye, and also the external structure of the eye. The external structure of the eye. Apart from that one, you need also to talk of the defects of the eye. The defects of the eye and the ears. the defects of the eye and the ears, such as like the long eyeball, night blindness, short and long sightedness, okay, and how they can be prevented. So those are the topics that are likely to come in your paper. I hope this one will be helpful for you. This one is not the leakage but the prediction, and remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more predictions. Thank you.